Hey, what's up? This is Del Jones from the band Punkordello, and you are watching the Punkordello podcast. I want to thank you for being here, and I also want to mention that the next song that we release is called "Hotter." It releases on all streaming platforms May 6th of 2025, and you can find that early before release for $5 on Bandcamp. You can listen to it about 3 times before you'll hit a paywall. But that's just fair game. If you want to see it and download it before it releases, you can give us $5 or whatever you want to support the podcast, to support us as a band. And then you can also do the same with the next release, Take the L, which normally would be like June 16th. And that one would be $10 or pay what you want whenever or whatever you want to throw our way. But we want to thank you for being here, listening to the local underground artists, the heart of our city, our country. And when we sit down with this next guest, I really hope you enjoy it. Share it on your socials, help us grow. We have some really like killer guests that are going to be coming up, and I'm really excited to do this podcast. So thanks everybody for watching. Keep doing that shit Chicago style, you know what I'm saying? All right. The fucking toot that like that's
every time.
it's because I'm using this like interface on the fucking on the like to do everything. It's a little
It's like one of those stream decks, like one of
yeah,
those things where it's just like you.
it's StreamYard. So
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
like, I'm not sure if anybody else is familiar with it. It's kind of like the first time hearing of it. But what's cool about it is that it does all those like AI video clips without me having to really do shit. It just like sends me an email when it's done, and then I can post it all to socials. And honestly, that is kind of the thing. I've kind of like held off on like posting the last couple of days, but I mean it's really just because I've been like working on like the actual music too.
Yeah.
So like
No,
balancing the two is a
trying to
juggling act.
balance like all the work, like between doing a podcast and doing work and working on music. Like, and that's
Yeah.
the thing is like in 2025, in order to do what we do, you have to still support yourself with your actual job sometimes, and then work on the music outside. And then you're adding a podcast on top of that, which I'm not gonna lie, I might have to steal that idea from you, because I've been thinking
Hey,
about it for a while, and you might just be giving me the inspiration to actually fucking do it now.
yeah, I mean, I would honestly, I would probably fucking I would probably fucking listen to it if you. I mean, I
Hell
would
yeah.
love to have you on and everything. I feel a little too vain. Like the main problem with me and social media, the reason like behind that podcast is because it's just like this. It's the whole like juggling with ego and vanity. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's kind of like don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm proud of my music. I listen to it, especially when I'm working on it, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, but like I like that in kind of a kind of like a different way, in almost like a standpoint of like I almost didn't not almost. I didn't want to exist before I started making things to a certain caliber. You know what I mean? And
Yo, dude,
then
trust me.
once I realized that I put this thing out into the world that even I can't deny, being my own worst critic, it's
Mhm.
like I look at it through a different lens. I listen to it in the sense of like I have a duty to give it an audience. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it's was something that was gifted even to me. So,
Absolutely.
and once I kind of like recognized that, then I kind of was able to start letting go of my own self-loathing
Mhm.
and move into kind of more of like a perspective of like this isn't this is my art. Yeah, I did everything, but I it's almost like I got so good at going into what is it that they're calling it now? They're calling it like flow state.
Yeah, like just kind of
I got
like just being right in it, and like all you're
yeah,
doing is just that. Like you're forgetting how to
like
eat and piss and drink water.
but the shit you're making is like, if it
Fire.
was gonna be any kind of shit, it should be that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
definitely like the shit we're here for to do, you know? And
Exactly.
so I look at that as almost something that is mine, but also beside myself. Whereas
Yeah.
the social media aspect of it is all about me, 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 and fucking like, what is the stupidest shit that you can put out into the world? And I just don't want to do that. I want to elevate, you know,
I
I
hear
want
you.
to, you know, come across, be the thing that, you know, someone could come across and say, I never thought about it from that perspective, you
Yeah,
know?
and if I may expand upon that a little bit, because
Yeah.
you're making like a lot of really great points, and it's stuff that like I have struggled with. I've been on this earth for 30 goddamn years, and in
Right.
the past 20 years or so, with the explosion of like social media and stuff like that, knowing what I want to do and seeing kind of what you have to do in order to keep relevance and everything like that is really hard, first of all, because all the algorithms are just designed to keep people addicted, but it's also sometimes really hard to break out. No matter what anyone says, it is more difficult than people think, because I think, let me put it to you this way. So this is a great example. I put out you know music all the time, which I am absolutely my own worst critic. I put out a solo that I wrote for Sinister Gates, a competition that a contest that his website was hosting, and I thought it would garner at least like a couple thousand views at least, and maybe at least 100 or so likes or something like that.
Uh-huh.
That maybe got like upwards of 50 and 60 likes on TikTok. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I found a stupid audio that actually I think Red, my drummer, sent me the audio, and it's like, yo,
Yeah.
bro, it's got the goddamn, and it's got the dual harmony for Bat Country.
Uh-huh.
And I posted 2 different videos of that just showing off my Sinister Gates guitars. Both of
Uh-huh.
those are at like 20K likes. And those are my
Nice.
most liked videos that I've ever had on TikTok. And what's really hard about that is it's like I'm with you where it's like I want to actually present different perspectives, not just on music, but on life in general. I'm
Yeah.
inherently a very political person. And so I do put my politics out there for all to hear.
And
And
see,
I
that's
also
one thing that you could do that I don't want to do. But
what
I would even be interested in being on it. See, like I want to keep politics out of my show specifically, just
Mhm.
because I want it to be a place I can come to find hope and find
Absolutely.
inspiration. And politics only makes me feel dread, you
Yeah.
know?
Trust
And
me.
it's not like, you know, it's not like we can't talk about the future.
Mhm.
Obviously, I mean, I can't be friends with a fucking Nazi, but like,
Oh,
I mean, I'm a
I am more
minority.
with you than anything.
I don't think anybody might know this, like, from the way that I talk. I mean, people wouldn't know that I'm fluent in Spanish, but I'm of Middle Eastern descent. So, I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
I'm every kind of like caveat in the middle of like what the typical um you know, white
Yeah.
straight male fucking rock star might, or
Yeah.
sorry, conservative might hate. I mean,
You're right, exactly, and fuck the Nazis. But,
yeah, I
like,
mean,
pun
it's not my choice, bro. I was just literally born this way, and just
eh,
like, but and also a caveat to
mhm,
that is, I was
yeah,
born with a condition,
mhm.
like a blood condition. It's not like serious or anything. It just happens to be rare, but it also put me in a different camp during COVID. So I was
Oh,
in this other camp where the CDC is literally just like in a single fucking thing is just like fucking gaslighting you. Like they're saying there's a 1 out of 4 people in our study died based off of 76 patients.
mhm,
You know, with the same condition in good health.
mhm.
Um, one out of 4 of them died, and 3 out of 4 of them were all hospitalized for at least 6 months. But we recommend that the vaccine is safe and efficable for you. And excuse me, what the fuck did you just say to me? Like, Like,
It was a
and what was weird is like the whole medical community, like, I mean, doctors, nurses, they're looking at me like, oh yeah, we recommend it. And I'm like, did you read the same information that I just fucking read?
yeah.
What do you mean? There's a 4 out of 4 chance I'm gonna have a bad time, and I can't afford to fuck up. I have no insurance, bro. Fuck.
No,
Like
I
I'm about, you know, kind of at this point in Texas. I was literally like on the floor, bro. I was about to
Jesus.
go and tour the world because I had nowhere else to go.
Right.
You know, which is
Jeez.
wild. That's
Who were you
like.
who were you touring with at the time, if you don't mind me asking?
So I actually don't want to say their names because I don't want them to get any clout from this,
Okay.
but I will just
Okay.
say that it is a specific disco metal band who has a huge reputation for fucking over like every person they work with.
Oh shit.
But
Okay.
the wild thing is that they've also worked with big names like Michael Blue, who launched One Republic's career.
Mhm.
But it's all like paid. They went into debt to do that, but they won't pay their members first. So
That's
like
weird.
the
What
people
the
that
fuck?
don't get a say in anything that they expect to perform to like collegiate levels live. Like
That's so wild. And that's what kind of frustrates me about this industry and what scares me is because I understand that it's a business and it's a business where, as my dad loves to say, he loves to remind me of this, the
yeah,
slice of the pie, especially with the music that we make, is not, the biggest slice of pie that people want
yeah,
to listen to. But the thing
yeah.
is, you do actually still see a ton of people following metal, like Nick Nocturnal,
The
and the fact that
compromise
Ice
is
Nine
in the
Kills.
loyalty of the community because we
Exactly.
love the music because it's good. It means something to us from our past or what
Right.
have you. It taught you how to like look at different things. Metal
Mhm.
does actually statistically make you a better person. I mean, or sorry, rather, the study found that it makes it
It improves
better
your mental
people on
health.
average listen to metal music, I should say.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
because we're not afraid of the actual aggression behind it because it helps us get it out. I'm an
yeah,
inherently angry
exactly, and
fucking person, but,
yeah,
and
but I
really quick,
save
let me
that
just.
for the performance. Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
understand
And
what you mean.
let me finish kind of what we were thinking
Yeah.
because I know you and I are both neurodivergent. I was recently
Yes.
diagnosed like a few years ago with ADHD, and everyone I told
Yeah.
was just like a fucking course. But
Yeah.
real quick, the thing about the slice of the pie that I was kind of getting to is it's just like I hope to one day, I understand I'm humid. I'm
Yeah.
humid, human, and my brain is susceptible to bullshit like greed and needing to survive in a capitalistic society. At the
Right.
same time, I never want to fuck over another person in order for my success to happen.
Well,
Part of what drives me actually is that I want to make sure that with this band, especially that the guys that I have with me, I bring along with that we all kind of help each other, but I want to bring them along with me. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a fortunate person with in regards to like my family and what they've been able to do and what they've been able to give me. And I want to make sure that anyone who is part of my team is able to take advantage not just of that, but I'm able to help them grow themselves,
mhm.
like both
Yeah.
as people, financially, and especially as musicians. Like that's kind of my even biggest
Yeah.
thing is just like I tell my guys in Oppressed Affliction all the time, like, hey, as long as you work on your craft, I love it. As long as I hear
Yeah.
you're working on it, and they are so talented. These the guys that are still with me through
Right.
this, and because we've gone through some serious lineup changes, but I digress. But yeah, basically my point of the pie is like I hope to not have my morals corrupted in the future if and when we get to that point where we're seriously making money. I want to help everyone who's part of my team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the thing about it is if you got in this business to make money, you're gonna have a bad time. So, like, I mean, because you got to think about it from the point to even like starting your first band, you've invested so much into just being able to do it in the first place, even
Right.
if we're just talking about a fucking cover show to get performance experience. Like you have to practice a certain amount in order to be able to pull it off with other
Mhm.
people in time and not have it fucking totally derail, you know?
Yeah.
So you've put so much investment even into it just at your first performance. By the time you get to like the 1,000th or 10,000th performance, you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you've even like taken off yet, because I mean the thing is like I feel like my biggest disservice to myself was that I waited too long to go, not not necessarily that I waited too long, but I didn't particularly do the best with going for it with my own shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because like I've always been writing songs, but it wasn't really that I felt everything was where it should be until I fucking tuned everything back down like I always wanted, and I
Right.
fucking busted out some of the fucking riffs
Mhm.
from like before. I mean, I'm releasing shit that are compositions that I've held on to since I was maybe like 15 years old, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like it's fucking it's wild that only now it's coming to fruition, and it's because I wanted to put so much energy and love behind other people's shit that
Yeah.
didn't, they didn't have my best interest at heart. You know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah,
shit. And
and that
it wasn't until I started just like, well, let me put my own shit out there, that it
yeah,
really started, kind of attracting the right crowd. And
exactly.
we've
Like,
gone through lineup changes too.
yeah.
So like, I mean, it's like it happens, but I feel like the people that are in it with me now are kind of like those key players that and I want to see everybody win. The thing is
Yeah.
like this whole attitude, like people forget that the first rule of business is developing relationships. Like
Mhm.
why would you want to go? I feel it coincides with this desire to do wrong just because you feel like it needs to exist in the world. And it's like, I mean, it's gonna exist whether or not you perpetuate it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but if you perpetuate it less, you send like kind of a ripple effect into the world to kind of, you know what I mean? Hey, it doesn't always
I hear
have
what
to
you
be like why do we always call it causing problems type shit. Like
Yeah. Like, fuck
we
the
could
you know, I
that's literally like the whole
yeah.
reason AI will outdo us, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
it's
now we
because
have to just kind of cut the shit and like start actually working right in the same
together.
way that
Like, we
like,
actually have to, like, realize
yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
Well,
if
let me just
go
finish the
for it.
sentence.
Yeah.
In the same
ADHD
way,
moments, baby.
that like, you can't really be into drugs
Mhm.
as much as they were in the past, like
Mhm.
historically, like you hear about the scenes in like 80s, 90s, like yeah, they could be on drugs because the music industry worked a particular way that it doesn't work that way anymore. Now you
Right.
have to do all the work to get to
Mhm.
that point, and chances are you're not going to be able to like handle all that shit unless you are of like clear mind, and you can actually also center yourself and find your peace as well, because staying
Exactly.
in the game is also like a big part of the whole thing, you know.
Exactly, and like that's kind of the funny thing. It's funny that you bring up like all the drugs and shit because I am someone like full disclosure, and my parents are gonna hate that I fucking talk about this, but who gives a shit? I've gotten high a few times. You know, like actually, like I started smoking in college mostly.
Mhm.
I was a perfect kid up till I was 18.
Yeah.
Then I started drinking and smoking in college. And I am someone though who cannot handle being high. Like I have had nothing but really I've only had like a few experiences where it's like actually calmed me down.
Mhm.
Um, and so but I still have this like curiosity because I have a lot of friends who drop acid and take shrooms, like even microdosing. But
Mhm.
even that shit like scares the fuck out of me because every time they talk to me about their trips, they're just like, yeah, you just have to make sure you're like with a good person and that your anxiety is good and that you're in a good place mentally. I'm like, I'm never in a good place mentally. I suffer from so much fucking depression and
Yeah.
anxiety that there's so much doom and gloom up here. There's a reason I
Yeah.
write metal music is because I'm so fucking angry at the world and so sad all the time. I have to get it out in a way that is cathartic. And it's yeah. So it's like, I can't fucking trip or else I'm probably going to see the fucking walls bleed.
Okay, well, I mean, I can kind of dispel a little bit of the notions here because I think I'm at Ronnie Radke level, name 3 of my felonies. It's okay, I'm on probation.
Oh my god, fantastic.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, as
long as you can still tour, you know.
The thing is like I can't talk about that story without bringing up some deeper points that would probably be more relevant on a political podcast. But what I will say, if we're going to talk,
hey, when I start my podcast, we could do it.
Exactly, man. Now, hey, you see me telling you to start doing it?
Love it. I love it.
Exactly.
Like,
no,
I'm
dude,
sorry. Continue. I didn't mean to cut you
yeah,
off again.
Of course. But so what I can say is like microdosing, it resets a depressed brain. So you hear about those studies where veterans are using it, therapeutically
and it's
for
worked
PTSD.
really well
and
for them.
Yeah, shrooms is like that. Acid is just craziness. It's just foolishness. Acid is a fucking chemical that'll eat away at your brain. It's literally acid. So like don't like. And the other thing is like the other thing about that is you can't do it alone. I know of a person who did it once, like by themselves and like tripped, like wasn't even like small doses, like tripped by herself, and she ended up committing suicide. So,
oh my god,
acid is like that. You know what I mean? And honestly, it is more terrifying than it is spiritual. But I also had like a very bad experience with it as well. I won't go into vigorous detail, but it was it was nightmarish. It was nightmarish. It was wake up in a jail cell bad. It was
oh god.
And not remember what you did bad.
Oh
and
my
then
god.
you find out that it was just some stupid shit, and you're like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, fucking shit. Yeah, no, I hear you. And like, because obviously we've all had like those drunken nights, but I've never.
Yeah, that's on it was on a whole other level. That was kind of what taught me, like, hey, there's no cheese at the end of this tunnel here, baby.
Yeah.
So I got, I toned it down, and see the thing is like I also do have like a little bit of nerve damage. I have some scars from some wicked skate falls that erased some tendons.
Dude, I have a chipped tooth because of it. I bet you can't tell which one it is. It's one of the two front.
Is it this one?
This one?
That yeah.
That's the one.
Is it that one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I fucking fell off a half pipe. Fucking. So yeah. Yep. For a second I thought my tooth went like this. No, it was just on the fucking half pipe. So sorry, I didn't mean to take you away from your.
Oh, the visual.
It was awful, dude. It was awful. Luckily, no blood. But
no. But yeah, so I fucking
the nerve damage from skating,
but really, like, I mean, what had happened was I was living in Austin at the time. I mean, and fucking I would take this this nickel board that somebody gave me, and I mean, I would skate to the bus stops because it was a little bit faster than fucking walking all that way, because I had to I'm not sure if you know anything about Austin, but Riverside area is kind of like the fucking, at the time it was the ghetto. I think they just put them all there.
Yeah.
But it was like where everybody kind of like new to Austin just kind of starts if you don't come from money.
Yeah.
And fucking, so I would ride over to Barton Springs in South Lamar, which is much more of like a touristy kind of area closer to downtown. And I helped open that Starbucks that sits right there. Not like that fucking matters, but the thing is I was going to open on a day that I didn't realize the buses weren't running at that time. So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting at the bus stop for like 20 minutes, and I'm just like, all right, okay. Fucking, and then I check my phone and I realize like, oh fuck, the this bus isn't coming. If I wait for this bus, I'm gonna be late.
Oh, fuck.
And then so I'm like, fuck it. Well, I gotta just start skating. And then so I start skating down this fucking street. And it's like it's not like Chicago. It's a major city, but like at 4 in the morning, it's like definitely like still dead.
Yeah.
So like I'm in the middle of the street. I'm about to like cross up this intersection with the highway, and fucking it's a straight drop, literally like that.
Oh no!
And I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, and I'm like, fuck it, dude. I gotta go fast, man.
Oh my god! And you said this was on a nickel board?
Yeah, a fucking plastic nickel board, bro.
Come on, man. I can barely do that on my longboard, like my actual busting. Come on.
Yeah, man. It was fucking stupid,
no.
Bro. No one can tell me I'm not brave, though.
No, they cannot. That you have more balls than I do, for sure.
And so so basically it was wild, man. So I'm starting to squat. I'm getting down. I'm starting to pick up real speed. I'm starting to feel it wobble, and I'm like, let me get a little bit lower. And before I know it, it's like a Dukes of Hazzard moment where the board is staring me right in my fucking shit, bro.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, I literally thought in my head these words: I have fucked up.
This is where he knew he fucked up.
Straight up. I have extremely overestimated.
Oh my god.
And fucking I bounce off the pavement, right? And I was like flying. I did like at least like a full turn before I like fucking 360, and then I fucking land against the pavement with this hand against my chest, my fucking guitar fretboard hand.
No.
And fucking yeah, so fucking bounce off the pavement, instant fucking road rash. It ends up I mean I rolled like 8 or 9 times, but I got up and I was like, ow.
I would imagine
hurt head. And then I fucking got, I fucking took what did I do? Oh, I think I just had to like walk like another half mile, three quarters of a mile. It's like to the Starbucks, and I was like, I'm not gonna skate the rest of it. I think I'll just walk.
Oh my god!
And yeah, and so I walked to work. I worked that shift. I mean, I wrapped it up a little bit, but with like paper towels.
Made sure it wasn't like bleeding and shit, and make sure you're not bleeding all over the place.
Yeah. And what's funny is like I was like the main bar person too. So like,
oh fuck. Oh my god.
I was making all the drinks, and I was like, fuck. I was literally just like, I am so sorry. Like, just give me a second here. They're like, no, you're good. I don't even understand how you're still keeping up with it. And I'm like, I did. At Starbucks, impressive. I got so bored with shit. Like after learning all the drinks, I would start like just doing like the shit that I would do when I was bartending and do the flair. So I do all the flips with the fucking caress. It didn't give me any more tips, but people would be like, "Damn, bro, like you're really
just a barista like, behind, just kind of fucking around, throwing the shaker around the back, catching it."
Yeah, and dude, I mean, yeah. So like, amazing. I mean, I don't really go overboard with weed. Like, I don't smoke a blunt unless I'm smoking with like more than just myself.
Yeah,
like more people than just myself. But I mean, it really does help me because I also broke my my same arm when I was 12, and I never got it properly casted because fucking bad home situation, kind of upbringing, Lifetime movie type deal.
Yeah, when I was listening to your podcast with Mark, and I did. You only brought it up for like 2 seconds, but you brought up kind of your home life and kind of being raised in a bad home and fucking I think it was like kind of like a religious thing.
So I kind of lived out the whole child called it thing, and I really just try to stay away from the topic just because I mean, the thing is like I'm trying not to invite that energy back into my life. I'm also trying not to make that like the most important or the most notable thing about me. It's really just the music that I make that I
Yeah,
think deserves more attention than
no,
any of that shit. But I
I
also
hear
have
it.
got to say that the adversity forged me into a person that I'm proud of today.
Absolutely. You
So
know,
I
for
don't. Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say the only reason I was kind of asking about it is because like um sort of this, I don't want to say anti-religion, but this sort of position where I'm at in life has been
Uh-huh.
forged because I was a former Catholic kid, man, and
Yeah.
I didn't really have like a bad home life or anything. That wasn't the issue. It's not like I had a pastor touch me or anything like that. You know what I mean? It was just I just kind of you know, I was kind of shamed for it when I started coming out as like an atheistic person by people who I had gone to church with, and I even some of my good friends would come up to me and just be like, "Hey, man, just come back to church, just come back to church," and like that's kind of like it. That's why for me, like I have actually like one of our songs, "Godless," is kind of about this concept of I do not want to uh die on my knees for a god. You know what I mean? Like I kind of started realizing that this religion that was very important in my
It's
life. Don't get
culty,
me
is it
wrong.
not? Like,
It's so culty. And that's a like I would rather be a cult in music. Like let me worship
exactly.
something that actually exists. Like that's why Avenged
Yeah. Right.
Sevenfold is a fucking cult. That's why Sleep Token is a fucking cult. Like
Yeah.
I would do anything for those fucking people. Not fully, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But
Yeah. We know
but
what you
like
mean.
that sort of deconstruction that I had, because I was a hugely religious person to the point where
Yeah.
people literally thought that I was going to be a priest, and now I'm a
Oh,
satanic motherfucker.
yeah. I mean, see, I don't. The thing is, I don't imbibe with any religion. If anything,
Yeah.
the principles that I live by more closely resemble like Hinduism and Buddhism,
Mhm.
because I believe more so in the idea of reincarnation.
Yeah.
And it makes more sense to me that you would have to pay for your sins in this lifetime with what comes next. But
Mhm.
I also, I mean, there's so much more information coming out. Like, if anybody like follows the crazy shit that's on Gaia, like, it's actually not so crazy anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Well,
I mean,
I'm not familiar with the Gaia stuff.
so Gaia is they get like a platform for like all kinds of different stuff. They have like yoga and meditation kind of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
my girlfriend's a yoga teacher, so like she's kind of
There
the
you go.
one that like put me onto it. But you can go Gaia.com, and then there's
Mhm.
all this kind of like you know, conspiracy related
Mhm.
type shit. And we all know at this point that all the conspiracies, the theories were just kind of like, for the most part,
Mhm.
kind of just a way for them to bat away the truth.
That's wild, man. Jesus
So
Christ.
it's like, I mean, so apparently aliens are 100% real. I don't. See, the thing is
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
I remember.
shit. The only thing I know for sure is that I don't know shit, but I can kind of get the idea for how to live my life just based on what the cycle of life is. And
Yeah.
you know, if you interact a lot with like animals and stuff like that, and you have a
Mhm.
good relationship with like random pets, but also just like, you know, wildlife like out in the
Yeah.
area. You know what I mean? If you step
It's a beautiful
outside
thing.
of like social media and the human constructs and you actually interact with the world, you realize that like you're just, I mean, in a way, I kind of understand the whole idea in Christianity of like you're just a shepherd because
Right.
like yeah, you have intelligence, you can use tools, you can that's our superpower as humans, that we create shit, creates better shit, you
And I
know?
think that's why like I kind of started falling away from basically all religion is because I kind of you know, so when I was a Catholic person, one of the teachings that we had was that believe it or not, it was like kind of the concept of God is very individualistic. correct, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, like, it was just like, oh, God's inside of me and everything like that. But as I started thinking about it more and just a little more critically, and I started sort of getting the facts about other religions, like, you know, the 40-year the flood happens in almost every single religion. And then you start looking at the history of Easter and everything like that, and
Mhm.
how basically Christmas and Easter are pagan religions that
Yeah.
the Catholic Church appropriated. Like, once you start kind of deconstructing that a little bit, not to get too philosophical, for
Yeah.
me, that idea of God is inside you turned into, fuck, I am the God of my own life.
The other
And
thing
that to
is
me
like,
was so much more empowering to me. Like, that to me gave me so much more power than any philosophy or religion that has been presented to me ever could. You know
right.
what I mean? It really instilled inside of me um like, you know, I wear a lot of Black Craft Cult stuff, and one of the things that drew me to them was this idea of like, believe in yourself. And you know,
Yes.
that is both very empowering and fucking terrifying.
Yeah. The other thing is that my mom was too into conspiracy theories. That is basically kind of where that takes over, and then
Yeah.
religious psychosis. So like, I mean, I also don't want to go too in depth with it because I don't want to do my sisters the disservice.
Understood.
I have like 10 siblings
Oh wow.
all together between my mom and my dad. Like they're all half
Mhm.
siblings or step.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to not piss too many people off that, you know, maybe I don't hate as
It's
much.
rock and
You
roll,
know what I
baby. Piss them
mean?
off. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
No, I
kidding.
mean, I'm down to piss most people
I'm
off for sure, but I mean, it's really just like I love
no,
I
I'm the
love
same
my
way.
I love I love my brothers and my sisters.
Family's important, dude.
My parents really pissed me off, and I haven't spoken to my biological mother since I was like 13 or 14.
Shit, man.
Really, except for her calling to ask me to bail her out of jail.
No shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. So,
Oh my god.
but the
So,
thing is like, so to
mhm.
get to the point that I was actually trying to make,
Yeah. Sorry
um,
about that.
she, there was all she was always trying to educate me, but at the same time, it was always like a conspiracy theory of some sort. And don't get me wrong, she ended up turning out to be right. But in hindsight, you also need to kind of focus your attention on the kid, on
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I was,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I was kind of just roaming free. That's why I started like doing shit I wasn't supposed to do
Mhm.
by like 10, 11 years old. You know what I mean?
Oh
It's
damn.
because there's lots of abuse and there was lots of, you know what I mean? No, it, it's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles. But unfortunately, I
But it still
also
made
was
sorry.
it did still, yeah, forge a better person. But at the same time, um I'm obviously, if I ever like make it to a point where I can, in my day and age, have any kind of kids rationally, like I'm not gonna
Mhm.
bring them into the world first of all without being financially stable. But
Mhm.
um, like I'm definitely not gonna be like that. But I will educate them in the same similar kind of way
Yeah.
because the thing is like when my mom would take me through like histories, like she would always tell me like churches weren't to be trusted, although she was still a religious fanatic. She said churches aren't to be trusted because man's not to be trusted, and that that's totally valid. And then she would teach me the history of, because she was really into birds, so she really loved like birds of paradise and like that whole environment and ecosystem in Hawaii,
Right.
which I went to Hawaii when I was very 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 young. She had gone multiple times, but uh, fucking she would tell me about how the Polynesian and the Hawaiian people were just essentially just raped and pillaged by the missionaries that came there.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? And so that's
Yeah.
like when you're it sucks to, kind of present this kind of reality to a kid that's so young, but
Mhm.
from a young age, it also kind of like made me aware in some way, shape, or form to the horrors of the world. I mean,
Right.
and then I endured plenty of
Yeah.
them by just because I was with a fucking schizo,
Yeah.
So, and
Dude,
that's very
more
unfortunate.
yeah, but the
Um,
thing is like it's more power to you to become the person you are, that you're strong enough and creative enough to do what you're doing. And
yeah,
kind of to tie it back a little bit more to the music side of things, like, you know, these trials and tribulations that, most, I think a lot of people have been through a lot worse than they care to admit.
yeah,
And I think it's that fear to face it that people don't do, which is why I think, the music that we create, whether it's punk rock or metal or hardcore or whatever you want to call it, whatever fucking subgenre these elitist bastards want to fucking say it
yeah,
is, there's a reason that we're able to sort of take this look at ourselves in the mirror, realize what's going on, and present it in a yeah, absolutely. We're fucking angry, and a lot of the world doesn't always want to listen to angry music. But as you said, like that study you brought back earlier to kind of tie it up into a nice little bow, uh, we're able to create this very intense music that gets our emotions out there. That otherwise, if we didn't have this form of expression,
yeah,
we would like I would have to go to like do a kickboxing thing
yeah,
or something like that. I would have to go find a fucking punching bag or scream into a pillow every fucking night.
yeah.
Like
And
and,
I,
and,
uh,
and
if you don't mind me interjecting,
yeah,
sorry.
please, please, no, go for it.
I love
We're
that we at
ADHD,
least
man.
understand that we're neurodivergent, so we don't get mad at each other.
Dude, I
But
would rather you interrupt me and like keep bouncing off each other than just be like,
yeah,
yeah, sure. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, that's how we already got to like 42 minutes. It feels like we just started this conversation like 5 minutes
I
ago.
know I've
It's
been kind of
wild.
eyeballing the time. I was like, we haven't even talked about music. Oh shit.
Yeah.
But I love it. Like, and that's the thing is like I don't like. Sorry, just before I let you, keep that in mind. Keep whatever you
Yeah.
had, keep like your mind on it. But just real quick, the one thing I want to say is like that's why not just music, but I like the bigger ideas and talking about the philosophies of life, and
Yeah.
like that's what gives me passion. That's why I love
Mhm.
art. That's why I love music, is because it
Yeah.
shows this deeper understanding of the world. Whether or not you agree with what the artist is saying is one
Yeah.
thing. It is still, you can have those healthy discussions then,
Yeah.
hopefully healthy, and really like I love philosophy, just that sort of exploration of the human condition. So again, and I love being able to like bounce off of it, and that's why we're at 43 minutes and 49 seconds, is because we love just talking about the human condition
Yeah.
and figuring it out. So I
Yeah.
continue.
Um, but no, so I mean, the thing is I totally forgot where the fuck I was going.
Fuck, I'm so sorry.
I no, I lost that train of thought, derailed, man. It's
That's
all
my
good.
bad, dude.
But I mean, if I'm just kind of like riffing off of what we were talking about before,
Mhm,
so I grew up with all those fucking cultures kind of being explained to me.
mhm.
So, I mean, I also got expelled from a Christian private school in Arlington Heights.
Wait, which one in Arlington Heights? Was
Christian
that
Liberty
St.
Academy.
Oh, fuck, I was gonna say, was it St. Al's? Oh my god, I almost ended up at St. Al's. Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Good.
no,
So, you
yeah,
gotta tell me how you got expelled, dude.
I did a couple of things.
Oh boy.
But I
Ah.
mean, I don't know. I flooded the bathroom. Uh, uh, I just noticed that like it stayed like it was, it was one of those push things, those
Yeah,
push bath
yeah.
what are you talking about? Fucking faucets.
Hey, be
And
careful with that fucking motion right there, dude. I'm
um
sorry. So it was the push faucet.
um No, it was the fucking push faucet, and then I noticed one of them stuck because it's like an old fucking building,
Oh no.
ancient as fuck, and like I'm like, oh my god, cool. It actually, I don't know, I was just fascinated by it, and fucking, so I just kind of let it go and stared at
That's
it.
amazing.
I was like, I wonder if this happens. Maybe I can get like suspended or something.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. Oh my
I
god.
was like, yeah, I was fucking bored with the shit.
I don't blame you,
And
man.
then this teacher named Mr. Chustek, he fucking comes in and then he is just like, hands me the mop and he's like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? Rightfully so. Now that I thought it was extreme then. I was like, "Nah, man, it's cool. Look at it." Like,
It's just water, dog. We're all good, man.
it's like there's a
Like, look,
drain in the
it's just
there's a
going,
drain
dude.
in the floor, man. Like it'll just
Yeah,
go. Like
it's fine.
it's a fucking idiot,
Amazing.
bro.
Dude, we all were, man. Dude, the fucking dumb shit that
Yeah.
that I've done in my life. Like,
I
I
think it
mean,
was
I
like
did get
third grade.
suspended. Dude, that's fucking wild. In third grade, you got expelled from a private Christian
No,
school.
no,
That's
that
insane.
wasn't why. That was just like
Oh,
one of the
that was just
multitude of
one of.
reasons.
Oh, gotcha.
There was also this kid that was bullying me, and
Hmm.
fucking I was not taking his shit, bro. I was not like he bullied me for like at least 3 straight years, and eventually I took like this little pocket knife and I just held him up against the locker, and I was like, "Fucking stop." And he was actually the dean's son, so fuck you.
No, fuck that motherfucker. So
Exactly.
he never was
No.
held accountable. Fuck that shit. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
So I I kind of have a similar thing. Like for the majority of my time in middle school, I got uh incessantly bullied by, like, literally elementary school through middle school. I was incessantly bullied. No one fucking liked me. I was the nerdy kid and I was too weird for anyone to want to hang out with, so much to the point where one of my friends was one of the more popular kids. He was hanging out with me one day and he actually told my folks, like, I wish Matt was more popular because my other friends don't like him, but I love hanging out with Matt. Like, but I had this kid throughout middle school who kept bullying me. And at one point, oh my God, I was just telling the story to someone. I was at my locker and I see him walking, and I was alone in the hallway, and I see him walking with his friends, and one of his friends hits him in the nuts. And I just kind of chuckled and went, "You fucking deserved that." And he's like, "What was that, Erickson?" I went up to him and I just like stared. He was a little taller than me, so I just went, "You fucking deserved it, you white gangster," or whatever the fuck I said at the time. I was a fucking dumbass, like 12-year-old kid. And he shoves me, I shove him back. We're about to fucking get into it. And then we just hear from behind, "What the fuck? Stop it!"
Yeah.
God damn it. And I didn't get expelled, but I did get suspended for like a week. And it actually led to me missing a music rehearsal because I was a band kid at the time as well. I missed a rehearsal for like our big holiday concert. I was like, "Fuck you. You're ruining my music. Eat my balls." And zero tolerance bullying is bullshit, because the moment you stand up to them, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then it's just another way that, they fucking gaslight everybody involved.
Exactly.
And everybody gets fucked.
Exactly.
And it's like,
and that
I'm not here for that.
And let's
It's
tie it all
like,
back to
the thing is like, if I were to have a kid, you better keep yours in line because mine's not taking no shit. I'm gonna basically, I mean, my kid is gonna be the fucking. I mean, I can't even say what he's gonna be because like it fucking doesn't exist. But if I were to, fucking, I would try to raise him to be, a little bit more altruistic, but also you're not Superman, so don't. You know what I mean? Fucking don't involve yourself in everybody's shit. But if you notice somebody and you feel like something is wrong,
stand up
fucking
for
stand
them.
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And I've always kind of said, don't start the fight, but finish it. That's kind of
Yeah.
what
I
I've always
mean,
thought, like, because then you can say self-defense.
yeah. The funny thing is, like, when you're a kid, that's kind of that's like the perfect opportunity to teach them how life should be and the
Yeah,
impact that they can make. But you get the opportunity as a parent to vindicate them as long as they are actually in the right. And I think, I mean, the world is so wild because there's such a lack of accountability, especially in this country. And
mhm.
I feel like that shit was done on purpose.
I
So, I mean,
I think it's just this inherent idea of individualism that Americans have
yeah,
that has led us to this. There's a ton of things that go into it. I think there's so much more nuance to every topic that people don't want to admit is there.
yeah,
And I think there is just this inherent individualism that is like, oh, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. I did it all myself. I did everything. I worked my ass off. I.
yeah,
Meanwhile, what they're leaving out of it is the support system that they actually had.
yep,
Like, good for you. You did work your ass off. I understand that. But also give the damn credit to the parents you had if they supported you, to the friends you had if they supported you, to the
yeah,
to the connections you made. Great, you made those connections, sure, but those were still the people that supported you. Those were the people that built you up. And
yeah.
and I think that hyper individualism has led us along with also 6 months at minimum of isolation during COVID, that has just kind of totally rotted um, our sense of empathy. I have been meaning to make a video about this for a long time. I think this country in general, not even like on a political point, but just like a moral and philosophical point, I think we have abandoned empathy and we've villainized empathy to the point where you have to
Real
be
quick,
yeah, please.
Real quick, I want to throw this in there. Did you know that
Please.
it's been found that Botox injections and like, silicone like implants and that sort of thing being in your body also has a direct effect on voiding the empathy in your brain?
No shit. I after this podcast, please send me that study because I want to learn more about that because that would
Absolutely.
explain so much.
I'll try to link it down and below
Yeah,
for everybody. I have no idea when this podcast is going to come out, by the way.
it's all good.
We're coming up on the hour mark, and I got to make
Yeah,
myself something to eat before I, go to the gym and work out
yeah.
before I
Let
clock in.
let's let's
So,
talk a little bit about music if we can a little bit since we're hitting
yeah,
that
what are
mark.
you working on?
So right now, my band, we just went through a pretty major lineup change. We are no longer working with Blake Schwartz, who was our front man and our
Mhm.
singer. And so but we are still releasing our first full length album that we've ever done in the past 12 years of being a
Oh,
band. We are still going to release the album as it was recorded with him.
okay.
We're currently. I don't want to drop names just yet because you know we're still trying to figure out everything with who we're working with right now and trying to see
Uh-huh.
if it works. But you know these we've been working on this album for a long time now. Like there are songs that were written in 2020
Mhm.
and some songs that we started really doing the recording process in 2022 2023. And he performed them very well. It was just towards towards the end of it there were some irreconcilable uh differences that were causing some toxicity and just kind of made it hard to work. And I have nothing but you know appreciation for the work he did put into this band and the album and everything like that. It's just unfortunately our personalities and our things like that just didn't mesh anymore. But his we wanted to still release the album as it was intended to be heard originally. Um, you know, and you know, we're having it mixed right now by Kevin Coppola, who was actually in a band with Jake and Blake back in the day called Axios, and he's a phenomenal producer. You know, I've had him work on my stuff. My buddy JD Doyle, he's one of my best friends. He was like my old sales manager back at Sam Ash, and he is such a fit. He's definitely someone you should reach out to. About being on the podcast, because he is so intelligent when it comes to drums and production. He has built his own studio in his basement, and it's fantastic. But either way, so the album that we're working on is sort of this amalgamation, I'll say, of all of our influences, whether it's, you know, Avenged Sevenfold, which shout out, Avenged Sevenfold, Periphery. We've got like No Effects of ideas in there. Like, we basically just took a bunch of our influences, because this is how I genuinely believe music is made, whether we want to admit it or not, because it's not created in a vacuum. We try to take everything and make our own sound out of it. So so like, is it very heavily influenced by these guys? Absolutely. But it's, you know, we have stuff that's straight up punk. We have something that's, you know, just straight up thrash. I wrote a like an 8 to 9 minute epic with a crazy guitar solo in the middle. We're trying to make guitar solos, you know, relevant. Again, you know, because
I don't
I need to feed my
understand
fucking
anybody's
ego.
opinion about guitar solos being I love a good guitar solo, and
I do
so
too.
like there's Punkbordello, and I think that stuff has more likes, but Del Jones is where I put all my metalcore shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the both of them, like I understand what you're saying with kind of taking all those different sounds and making your own out of it, because that's what Punkbordello is. Just on more of kind of like a you know, because I'm trying to experiment with trying to unite communities. Like, I really love for the EDM community to embrace us, although I know they won't. I'd really love the hip hop community to embrace us, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I know that the rock crowd will get with it, because it's like fresh and it's new and it's got loud guitars and real attitude in it.
And it's really funny that you. Sorry.
And then Del Jones are just like my own personal babies, like, you know
Right.
what I mean? The shit that I've been kind of like sleeping on since I was like fucking 15, like riffing. And shit that I'm, you know, new shit as well that I'm like really proud of. You know, kind of explores the new metal sound, also kind of explores that. But that's like, nobody can tell me shit about what to make Del Jones, because obviously that's my name and my shit. But
that's kind of what we're
Punkbordello
thinking.
is more open to like how it's going to be like played live with Brad and my bass player Sammy. Love those guys, and they have the best tools for those roles. Is absolutely kind of the case.
Yeah, because like that's kind of what like the process has been for Oppressed Affliction, is just sort of like one of us will bring probably like the skeleton of the song and a vision of it, and we try and, like, if you present the song and we're working on it, like, it's your baby, you know what I mean? And we're all trying to like put our own little voices in it to make it more unique, because if it's just one person writing all the stuff, then it's not going to sound as unique. If you get all the voices on there, it's going to be unique, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's an amazing thing to collaborate with some of your best friends. And that's sort of what we were trying to do as well. We sort of almost accidentally created this album that explores the human condition, as far as sort of like this sort of like demon to trying to be a better person, and sort of like it has this tinge of like anti-religion in there as well, but it's more of the absolute self-reflection of the world. And honestly, even as we're working on this album and getting it mixed and getting it released, we're already writing the next, whether it's going to be an EP or full-length album. I think right now we're already working on trying to at least get the instrumentals done and the concepts done for a EP that would hopefully drop pretty quickly after the album drops.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, man. Just fucking send me that shit. I will repost it till the fucking cows come home and
Hell yeah,
fucking
dude.
I mean, I also want to kind of send this message out there to anybody who's listening who's been on the podcast or uh, you know, basically anybody who's been on the podcast. If you want to send me some shit for me to like post on my story and this, that, and the other thing, I'm all about that, so
Yeah.
definitely send me anything. I will put eyes on it, even if I can't come to every show. And I'm not even in Chicago at this point in time right now. I'm kind of like out in the boonies in central Illinois, kind of figuring the next moves, the game plan. But this is kind of like uh, I'm finishing the record for first and foremost, and then um, I'm toying around with the idea on where to get the tour van and everything like that. The music is going to be released in the same kind of way it has been, and all the way up until 2027. And I think slow steps are strong steps. So I want to do like the full-fledged tour and everything like that, and I want to build up a
Hell
network
yeah.
of people, all over through this podcast, that I can potentially like book shows with. The difficulty is that when you actually are taking a van across the country with two other people, there's fixed expenses, and it's kind of like a bare minimum of like 20 grand for the van and for you guys to at least have some sort of fucking stability, so just figuring that out. I would like to start like a Kickstarter in the future to kind of make all that happen, because some of these shows, I mean, I know it's not going to be a perfect world where we get the guarantee that we're asking for, so I'm kind of trying to I know what it needs to look like from the perspective of like, what we need, but what can we actually get? That's kind of the territory I'm going to start heading into as I wrap up the last songs on the album here. So it's part of my 5-year goal to get this shit on the road, to be doing it the right way. And I mean, the industry standard is that you're touring 8 months out of the year. I'm not even certain that that is necessarily the most sustainable thing ever. So I think probably maybe like a good 6 to start out. I know I'm going to have to do it hard and fast and like make it happen just to like kind of, lay the groundwork and build a foundation for it. But when it comes to actually touring it out proper, and really leveraging it, exhausting it, fucking to actually get it the kind of audience I think it deserves, then there's some work to be done. And
Absolutely.
there's value in being able to just like work a job and fucking let that make the money, while you figure out how to materialize an income in an industry that some might consider to be dead.
Yeah.
The
And like
thing
that's
is,
the hard thing is like even bigger bands have been coming out saying how their tour is like it sucks because part of me is like Ticketmaster is to blame, but then another part of me is like, well shit, these motherfuckers still have to pay their crew. They have to pay their sound guy, the local unions that work on their shit. So it's like on one hand, Ticketmaster is absolutely fucking to blame because they are a monopolistic piece of shit. What? Who said that? But also the bands
everybody
are
who's
trying
ever had to work
exactly.
with them.
Fucking true. But I don't want to shoot my career in the foot. Come on. No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking.
I mean, the thing is like we're not even getting into Ticketmaster venues anyway right now. The
Exactly.
thing is
Well,
like
you know
we are
what?
literally the underground.
The
We
crazy
are,
thing is
yeah.
sometimes the underground ones are still Ticketmaster ones. I haven't run into it yet, but I have seen deep dives into Ticketmaster's business, and it is crazy how many local bars actually ended up having to basically sell out and like struggled because Ticketmaster tried to force them in, and they were just like, no, fuck you. And it's fucking crazy how insane it is. There's a great video on it, and if I find it, I will send it to you because you should definitely watch it. It's kind of crazy the business model they have.
Yeah,
But
and
speaking,
what's funny is like when Kid Rock fucking goes up to the White House with Donald Trump and it's like, yo, this is actually like a problem. Like at least we can all agree on something for once.
for once in our fucking lives,
For once in our
seriously.
fucking lives, man.
we please, for the love of God, just fucking figure out a better way. Which, speaking of a better way, if you want to see some underground shit, can I promote something really quick? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Fuck yeah, thank you. So we are playing a show at WC Social Club on June 15th.
Okay.
We're opening up for a touring band called Weeping Wound, and it's kind of, some people have actually been commenting saying like, holy shit, this is a stacked lineup. It's Weeping Wound from Florida, Blind Equation, Mirror Cell, Dead Awake Band, and Dems Fighting Words. That's kind of lineup, and we're opening the whole fucking thing up. I think we're on it. I think we're opening the show at 6:30. I think that's our slot, and like everyone, I love WC playing that
it's a nice
venue.
stage.
It's
a nice
fantastic.
stage.
And having bands like For the Fallen, I saw Mark Esses play with For the Falling Dreams there. And so just knowing that he's become very much one of my best friends over the years, and watching him on that stage and then being able to play that same stage is fucking cool. Like, to me, that was even cooler than when my band got to play House of Blues a couple of times, and that was just for the Road to Warp Tour contest. But it was still fucking cool. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a great show. I'm really excited. Like, playing WC is great because they have a great area to mosh, and I think they even have signs that's like no moshing, and we're like, fucking kill each other.
The whole Ticketmaster situation. I mean, I think we could get into a whole other, we could probably do more time next
100%.
time around. And I mean, I tell everybody the first time, let's get like an hour, and then the next time you come on the podcast, then we can probably shoot for 2 or 3. And then it can just build up from there, because like right now it doesn't, it doesn't have the biggest, I mean, it's got nothing for a following, but it's still reaching a lot of people, which is wild. It's kind of crazy to see how many it's reaching, particularly through YouTube and Instagram. So YouTube and Instagram are pretty nice. TikTok I'm still having trouble with, but I really just think that comes down to me putting stuff out consistently every fucking day. And it's wild because I don't even fucking it's difficult to do it every fucking day, and I don't even necessarily, I mean, everything is so saturated. You would think that they would want you to pull back a little bit if you're not seeing some sort of, but they really do want you to just fucking
they need the daily boom 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 boom. If you're not posting regularly, it's hard to break out, and you have to have the certain formula of the hook, and it's ugh. But
and I hate all that shit, so I'm just gonna do podcast clips.
What's really nice though is sometimes just posting your thoughts on current stuff, whether it's your thoughts on gear or politics or music or anything. If you just present some cool educational facts, you can still get a little bit of attraction there. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, I want to say something and I need to get it out there because I can't just keep it inside. And then to see that there are actually people that agree with it, even if it's only 50 to 100 people, it's still content that they get. So and really quick, speaking of content, couple of things I want to make sure I say before I forget. Again, my band's Oppressed Affliction. I want everyone to follow that. I'm usually on TikTok and Instagram as either OA Matt Erickson or just Matt Erickson Music. And I want to make sure, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on this. Like, I love trying to grow the community and the local scene and everything. So I want to make sure I tell everyone like that, your Punk Bordello, I was listening to it before we got on. Like, go fucking follow Punk Bordello. These guys are sick. I really like the production. I like the songwriting. So make sure you go follow Del Jones and Punk Bordello. And I'm talking to you behind that fucking screen, motherfucker. Go follow all of our shit. Support the local scene, motherfucker. Come on. Sorry, I had to be a little cringe there for a second.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
Embrace the cringe.
Yeah. No, I mean, you really do have to. And the thing is that is actually what gets more having something to say, or being more animated. That is usually what will drive kind of like the algorithms and everything.
And that's
like
sort
that.
of why I actually have a hard time doing, is because like I'm already a weird person, and I'm usually over the top, but then there are times where I'm filming and the animated style that I try to do doesn't feel genuine to me. So I'm trying to like figure out that balance between being authentic and being animated. Like the way I've always, the sort of I try, I don't know how much you know about like the old YouTube Let's Plays and shit like that, but like Markiplier.
YouTube. Wait, what?
Like, did you ever watch Markiplier growing up?
No, I didn't.
So he was a huge Let's Play kind of guy. Like he would record himself playing video games. Like his fame kind of came from doing Five Nights at Freddy's, but he basically kind of became a renaissance man, where he learned how to improv, he learned how to direct videos, he makes like movie quality videos. It's been a long time since I've watched him, but he's such a goofy ass motherfucker too. He actually, like, a lot of my mannerisms came just from watching him, and he inspired me so much that I would love to sort of be the sort of the metal version of Markiplier, that's just super positive and loving and charismatic and just like goofy, like just like I don't want to just be in it to be like, of course we all want to be famous, like that is part of it. Like I don't want to be so famous to the point where like I can't go to the fucking grocery store by myself. You know what I mean? Like,
I say that like every fucking podcast, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there.
Exactly.
Like, who wants that, bro? That's
exactly. But
I would rather like have people come up to me and have like meaningful, like they only recognize me because they are a fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not because I'm fucking this, that, or the other thing.
I hear you, and like I want to get to a point where like we're at least well known enough that I can be a respected guitar player, and and have that publicity, and still have my privacy, but. And don't get me wrong, if someone comes up to me and they recognize me, I want to always offer my selfies and stuff in my time, because that means so much to me to have that recognition.
Yeah.
But ultimately I just want it to be enough where it's like I can support myself, my dog, my girlfriend, and that my band can support their dreams. You know what I mean? I want to have stability. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Memento mori. It's cliche, and it's something that I have a hard time remembering in the moment, but I know that the right mentality is to live in the moment. You're gonna die, so have one life and make it the best fucking life you can. And I think that is something that if I could keep remembering, if I can say it enough times, I hope that helps drive me to a better life in the future.
Absolutely. No, and I that's a lot of the same concepts that I'm writing about in I know I say the record because Chicago style rock and roll is like the big one that I'm working on, but Prince of Punk is I mean, it's a double entendre because like Prince, like because I play all the fucking instruments.
There you go.
Also, I mean, I will say, in case anybody is wondering, Prince's first album is his best album in my opinion. Like as a rock fan, like bro, you're telling me this kid was 19 years old in 1979 and he fucking, or whatever, I think it was maybe even 78, 78 or 79.
I'm blanking.
He comes out with this fucking album, For You. Like, listen to the title track, For You. My God, bro, it's fucking for what everybody else was capable of at the time, bro. Yeah, Prince.
He was beyond his time, and like I will
Yes.
always say, one of my favorite things from Prince, because unfortunately I did not get into Prince until he died, and that is a regret on me because I know my dad tried to show it to me. I was just like, fuck, get that old shit out of here. I was such a dumb fucking kid. I seriously, he would try.
I did the same thing with what ended up being my favorite band.
Exactly. He showed me the Beatles one. Like at one point, he tried to hand me the Beatles one album and say, "Hey, go listen to this." And I said, "No, that's old stuff." But either way,
I did the same thing with, and now
fucking
that same. So, "Sweet Child of Mine" came on the fucking radio when I was going to like one of the 2 guitar lessons that I took, and fucking "Sweet Child of Mine" comes on the radio, and my mom turns it up, and she's like, "Oh, I love this song. I love Guns N' Roses." And I'm like, "I don't want to listen to your 80s shit." And I'm thinking I'm punk because I'm into like Green Day. No, but like Green Day and the Ramones and
baby.
Sex Pistols. That was like kind of like my holy trinity right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I heard Guns N' Roses, and I'm like, whoa. This whole time I've been so dedicated. I mean, I played guitar for at least a couple of years at that point. This whole time I could have been just I do need to work on the soloing. So that was like, that was like the first song that kind of like opened my ears to that. And then Guns N' Roses became my favorite band, and it became my life's mission until I was like 13 to learn every note on every instrument of Appetite.
I love it.
Very autistic.
I love it, man. That's
no, I said very autistic.
A little bit of column A, a little column B, brother. Let's go. We all got ADHD here. Let's dude. But it's funny because I sort of had a same thing going up. I thought I was. I was so into like Eminem that I didn't want to listen to anything else at the time, and then like I started playing Guitar Hero, and I was like, "Oh, I want to do this." And I heard Guns N' Roses while playing it. I'm pretty sure it was "Welcome to the Jungle" at the time, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to do this. This looks like so much fun." That's what got me into guitar and everything like that. And I wanted to start writing, but it wasn't like the big dream with Guitar Hero. And then one fateful day at lunch, my friend Mandy shows me "Afterlife" by Avenged Sevenfold. And I heard that guitar solo, and I was like, oh. And let me tell you this, man. That was the moment my life changed from just a hobby to this is the fucking dream. I want to be I want to be one of the best goddamn guitar players in the world, and I want to make. Do
you remember the first time you heard "Buried Alive"?
Yes. Oh my god.
Nightmare. I saw them open for Metallica live in Soldier Field, and dude, I saw them.
We were at that show, and I got into a fight at that show.
Sick,
dude. Nice. But sorry, continue. Yeah.
No. So I do actually. Here, what time is it? Okay, I am gonna have to wrap this up real quick.
Oh Jesus! But, yeah, sorry. I'll tell the fight story next time.
Parting thoughts. Yeah, no, I just love that song. The first time I ever heard "Buried Alive" by Avenged Sevenfold. It's very like, I mean, it's just all their shit. They're just a legacy band that kind of just got added to the next one. I feel like they were the Led Zeppelin of their day.
Yeah.
In a time where like it felt like nothing was too responsive to. I mean, you had maybe the Foo Fighters, but you know what I mean. Like it's been really difficult in the mainstream for rock for a while because I feel like they're trying to kill it off so they can fully commercialize everything and make it, fucking put a chick in it and make her gay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like South Park, but I fucking love that episode. That shit is
Jake, my other guitar player, is obsessed with South Park. I was traumatized by South Park growing up because I was such a sensible little kid, and now I need to go back and watch it. Like I remember just walking in, I saw everyone dying, and I was like 9 years old. And I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
It's wild. I feel like it would be even better to like start making it your background noise show, like while you're cleaning or doing the dishes or whatever. I don't know if you do that, but I do that.
I do all the time.
But because if you tune in and you hear like some of the points that they're making and some of the premises of the episode, like it's like always like at 10 in every way. It's so, but
Absolutely.
it's wild. I think like their takes on things are very like relatable.
Mhm.
Some shit does get like kind of goofy towards where we're at now, but I mean we
Yeah.
kind of come to expect that after 20 years of being on the
Ab-
fucking air, man. But
Absolutely. But anyway,
anyway,
sorry. Yeah, we got to I think I was getting the eyeballs from my girlfriend.
oh shit, yeah, no,
We haven't
I
eaten here yet.
yeah, no, I gotta make something real quick and then be on my way here. But
Yeah,
thank
but
you so much, Matt
Mhm.
Erickson of Oppressed Affliction. Thank you so much. Everybody go listen to their shit. Listen to Punk Bordello. I'm
Go
gonna
listen to
put a
Punk Bordello,
playlist
please.
together with some of our stuff. So send me links to your favorite tracks, and then I mean, shit, man, I'll put them on a playlist. If everybody who comes on the pod, it'll be the podcast playlist.
I love it.
Um,
I'll send you a
put it
couple of
on
our shit.
Spotify and Apple Music and shit. And
I'll give
yeah,
you a
it'll
little
be
bit from
like it'll
every
be
era
some
of
sort of
Oppressed
community.
Affliction.
It'll be
Yeah,
fucking something.
I'll send you at least one or two songs from every era of OA, no matter who the lineup was.
All right, sounds good.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right, dude. Thank you so much for having me on, dude, and everyone
Yeah,
else.
thank you
Thank
for
you for
being on.
listening. Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
thank you, listeners. Take it easy, guys.